How you doing, Ryan?
All right, Paul.
What you been on
Not bad.
with?
You what, matey?
What you been on with?
Ah, same old, same old. Been down in gym, helping out down in gym and that, and trying to watch a bit of boxing.
Are you still putting shows on?
Am I still what?
You still putting shows on?
My nephew puts them on more than me now. I just help him out.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, there's a lot going on. I seen you. Last time I seen you, but Montwood, wasn't it?
Ah, yeah.
Outside Montwood. Are you going up there today?
Um, I might do. Might nip up, see if any
What,
lads are in.
what for a pint?
Yeah,
I might have a pint with you this dinner time.
yeah. Pop
If you're
over.
up. All right.
I'm up.
Well, we'll start off with the Sky Show last night. What did you think about it?
We've gone again, haven't we?
No, mate, I can hear you, mate. I can hear you, mate. What do you think to the Sky Show last night?
I liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought there were a lot of good matchups on it, except the girl what fought in the uh, second fight, I think it was. She was like a big stiff, but she stopped in longer than I thought. But overall, it was a good show.
Mm, mm. Well, my opinion of it is this, and I don't want to be harsh, but because I am harsh, but I don't mean to. But the main two fights I thought were brilliant. The main
Yeah,
two, the chief support, May
yeah,
against Boom Gardner, and I felt that the main fight was just they went at it for 20 minutes, didn't they? Uh, but do you feel that there was too much female boxing, and for hardcores it was a bit hard to take, kind of thing? Because some opponents looked like some had a return at Jedi, didn't they?
yeah. I know what you're saying. I think because it was billed as a woman's only show,
Yeah,
you kind of know what to accept, what
yeah,
to expect. But no, I think it was a bit of breath of fresh air. Just having women only on it, letting them get like, because the truth is the women don't get the credit they deserve. I
no,
think,
yeah,
and it's going to help them with a better payday, isn't it?
yeah. Do you feel that they've had to do this with women's boxing because the men's boxing's become like a bit of a joke, hasn't it? Where nobody wanted to fight each other. And because there's a small pool of women, they've all got to fight, haven't they?
That's it. With women, they ain't got much said. They sort of fight all the fight.
Mm.
With men's boxing, to be honest, it's on its ass at the minute. Men's
Oh,
boxing. I've never known it as bad. I mean, we were having a conversation last year where we said it was great and it's best it's ever been, and now it's worst it's ever been. You just can't get these fights made. There's too many
yeah,
people involved, too many solicitors, too many. I mean, it sometimes what people don't understand in boxing, it boils down to adverts in between rounds and stuff like that. Who's having
yeah,
theirs on and one thing and another, and like when Tyson Fury's sending these contracts out, and you've got 10 days to sign them. It's impossible. There's just too much to it.
yeah, yeah. Could you just turn your audio down just a little tiny bit, Ryan, please? It's echoing. Oh, is that all right? Yeah. What did you? We'll come to that in a bit, but we'll start with April Hunter. She's a big lass. She's been trained by Peter Fury. Phil Jeffries manages her. She won on points last night, so she's had a win. Good luck to her. But if you go through the rest of the card, I wasn't really bothered about anything else until we got to main, chief support at main one. But what
Yeah.
did you think to Lauren Price?
Lauren, right. I thought she's a gold medalist. She's won everything in history she can win.
Yeah,
I expected a lot more from her, to be fair.
yeah,
She's a tidy boxer, but she was she was quick. She's a southpaw. Her footwork was smooth. She was in and out, in and out. But I don't know. She looked frustrated to me in the first few rounds. And when she was sitting on stool, I think it would end at second. She was like, there's not. She was like, I don't know, almost an arrogance on her face where she didn't want to listen. She was getting too close with her backhand. Her footwork was great, but then she was jumping in with her backhand. She was only hitting on half her arm, not getting her on full length at shots. And for opponents she had, somebody of her caliber, Olympian, and that should have had her out of there.
Yeah. You think she'll get loads of sponsorship deals?
Yeah. But through Sky and through Boxer, she'll do well.
I won't sponsor. I won't have her endorsing my products.
No, she. I don't know. It's just some people what are very good at.
She's not photogenic and she's not wholesome, is she? You can see these promoters they're trying to mould these lasses as wholesome and this and that and blah blah blah. A bit like Steffi's tried to do with Terry Harper. He tries to do all promoting and speaking for her, doesn't he? Which you can understand. Savannah's come out of her shell a bit. Shields has come out of her shell too much, but that Mayer, she's inundated with endorsements. She's the endorsement queen. People like her and Katie Taylor, because they look old, like, don't they? I think they'll have problems with her, but I want to touch on this. Robert McCracken, he's training another gold medalist. He's got the pick of him, hasn't he? Nobody says that, do they?
No.
Silent assassin. That to me, it's like grooming them, innit? Not in that sort of way. It's like you've got them from EIS and she keeps winning, and they've got the first pick, haven't they? I don't agree with that. Robert McCracken don't do interviews. When he does, nobody puts it on him. Nobody says, "Hey, Robert," and I like Robert. I've known him years. Robert, how come you always end up with Olympic medalists from GB team? Why is that? Why are you still involved with amateur boxing and training pros? I don't get that. Why ain't nobody asking these questions? That's lottery funded up there. Lottery funded. Well, it's up to them, innit? If they can find a loophole, they will, won't they? It's the wild, wild west, isn't it? Everybody's out for themselves, aren't they?
Yeah, I think there should be a line drawn where an amateur coach should train amateurs. That's it. And then you go on to your pro. He's found some kind of loophole where he's allowed to do both. I mean, at one time, I remember when amateurs and pros weren't allowed to train in the same gym together.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's managed to dwindle it, but now it shouldn't be allowed that.
Yeah. Boom Gardner. I said she'd win, but I said by knockout. I got that wrong. I didn't think she won that 1 point. I thought she lost. What did you think to that?
I thought Mayer were just going to outbox her, keep her at length, and just box her head off. She did have a lot of success with that overhand right, but I had Mayer winning by 2 rounds. I thought she'd nicked it by 2 rounds.
But, you wouldn't like to meet that Boom Gardner down in alley, would you?
No, definitely not. I mean, we've seen what she was about when she stopped Teddy Harper. She's small, stocky. She's got a powerful punch on her, and likes to throw that overhand right. I just think Mayer could have made it easy for us by boxing more on back foot. She's got really long arms. She's nice and tall, and she should have kept everything right on end of punches. To be fair, she shouldn't have got nowhere near her. But then again, I think she just did enough to win. Van Gardner, she's very tricky. She come out right, cocky, hands down, moving head. So I think she just frustrated Mayer out of her rhythm.
Yeah. Are you surprised that Terry Harper didn't take the rematch when she lost the WBC belt, the best belt in boxing? Because they had a rematch clause and she didn't take it. Were you surprised at that? I was.
No, I weren't, because as much as I like Terry Harper and I follow her, and that, you just got that person you can't beat, and I just think she beats Terry Harper 5 days out of 7, and I just think she's too hard for her. Plus, she was struggling with weight, Terry Harper. They were saying, so that makes you weaker. But just there's some people you just know you're not going to beat, and a bit like Usyk and AJ, they could fight 7 days a week, and AJ'd lose.
Do you think Terry struggles with punches?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's got best chin out there. She's a good mover. She's got a good combination of punches and that, but she has been hurt quite a few times. I don't know I don't know if she spars. She spars with one of them cage head guards on or what. I mean, I don't agree with them. It's not like taking a proper punch. I mean, about 3 weeks out before the fight, you should have a thin head guard on, so you can feel punches.
Yeah. Okay, no. Well, she moved up quite a few weight divisions. If you were struggling, why don't they just move up one weight division? Do you think they moved up all them weight divisions because they saw easy pickings against Anna Rankin?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Anna Rankin's from white collar. She's very novice. She's a trier. The sort of belt there. They knew they had to get belt up as soon as they won it. So it was just a case of going up, winning it, getting your name in books. I mean, Terry Harper's legs, wow. If you've seen, you will have seen her on scales. Her legs were absolutely massive. Is she staying it that way? I doubt it.
Your legs are like Tom Platt's.
The bit, I was shocked when
the quad father.
I seen a picture on Steffi's Instagram, and I was shocked at how big her legs were. It's hard to get weight off your legs, so if she just comes back down,
Steffi like that with close up at legs.
Yeah.
Teddy, move over there. Tense your legs up like Tom Platt's Quadzilla. I'll put that on Insta.
If she does decide to move back down, she's going to have some work to do, because getting weight off your legs is one of the hardest things you can do.
Well, what'll happen now is they're going to manoeuvre around big punches, aren't they? Through all them weight divisions, you can do what you want. The lasser's going to be like that, isn't she? Now, just to swerve any bangers. Yeah. Okay, then. Sorry.
That's the thing with them lower weights, though, isn't it? You can jump a division or two. There's only a pound, 2 pound in between them, so you can bob about in about 4 weight divisions.
Yeah. The main event. I had it 6-4 Shields. The bias in me wanted a draw, but she lost 6-4. But I didn't have it 7-3 on 2 cards. And Steve Gray had Savannah up after 7 rounds. And then he bottled it in the last 3 rounds, didn't
he? Yeah, I mean...
how did you score it, Ryan?
I scored it 7-3, I'll be honest.
Oh, Ryan.
7-3. She might have got a draw in one of them. You could give another one for good luck, Sess, or 6-4, 7-3. I just think it's that jab for me. Your jab is an absolute weapon. And she's just doing that and skipping to the side and flicking. You've got to use that jab and ram it out. And I think you should have worked her jab more, because she's bigger, taller. She could have knocked her head back and got her on her back foot and then come in with that right hand. She just weren't using that jab. And defence, I think it was in first round where she was under pressure. She did well. She rolled a lot of shots. She took a lot of gloves. But in one of them punches did connect and it did hurt her. I think Marshall was hurt about 3 or 4 times in that fight.
Yeah, you know what? I was watching it and I thought both of them had not been in with anybody like themselves. And I thought they were both making adjustments. I saw Savannah switching very early in the fight, which I've never seen her do that. That's probably because she was thinking, I'm up against it here. Do you think? Because
Yeah,
when you switch, it's like a plan B, in it. And
yeah,
I've seen her do it in gym, but I've never seen her do it in a fight. And not that early anyway. And I thought it reminded me of Frank Bruno against Mike Tyson. He was switching very early in the
yeah.
fight because they're coming at you with shots, aren't you? You know yourself, former fighter. They're coming at you with shots, and it breaks your concentration, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. This is what I've been told anyway of people. But better, so
There's quite a few. There's quite a few signs I look for in a boxing fight. If you see another boxer just bouncing up and down on spot, or they're banging the gloves together, or the switch hitting, it's because they're running out of ideas. And
Yeah.
they're doing that while they're trying to think what they're going to do. It's not working. They're getting a bit flustered, so they'll bang the gloves together. Come on, or they'll switch, or they bounce on spot. And I think she just thought she was going to go out and steamroller. I think she had it in her head too much that she beat her when she was 16 and she was 21. So she still thought it was going to be like that. But to me, she looked fatigued. I think Savannah Marshall, that break they had, has gone against her. Obviously, they cancelled it because Queen dying. By round two, she looked knackered to me. She looked spent. And from round two onwards, it looked like she didn't have power to hurt Shields.
Yeah. Yeah. What now then? Because I always thought that if she lost, she'd retire, but they're going to she wants another fight. They've both got nowhere to go, have they, to fight anybody else?
No, they've got to fight each other again, but Savannah Marshall's got to totally come in with a different game plan. She's got to take it to her, be very aggressive, rough her up, and use that jab as a weapon. Ram it out like a ramrod. She can't just keep pouring with it. You keep pouring with that, your opponent gets used to it because you don't know you're just waiting for that. But if you use it nice and stiff, then you can drop down to the body, you can bring uppercut in, then you can bring your backhand in. And I just think that pouring with jabs just, well, I think it led her down and led her to lose.
Yeah, it's an hard one, isn't it? I like Savannah, and I'm devastated for her. Me, I know she'd be devastated as well. But
yeah, well, good. I was telling everybody she was going to win about round it points or relate stoppage round 11, but Shields never seemed hurt, never seemed to get out of second gear. She would just come forward aggression, and she was fighting at her pace, and it like she could have done that for another 10 rounds.
Do you think it's another case of Mayweather, Andre Ward, Atten, Carl Froch, and Froch, Ward, Mayweather, Atten, and Shields, Marshall? Us Brits are just not as advanced as the Americans, the top, elite at the top table guys. Do you think? Or do you think it was just bad luck?
I think it's always been the same. I think there's a lot more boxing gyms in America. It's rougher in America. It's more deprived in America. They have to go to the gym off their own back through sweat and tears. They ain't got like we've got Sheffield Institute of Sport or out like that. Yeah. They just do it off their own back. They're just tougher people. There's a lot more people in America than there is England.
Yeah, 5 times more.
Yeah, us Brits. I mean, you don't get people going around to other gyms just sparring because they're scared of getting beat up or getting put on YouTube or something. In America, they're all sparring each other all the time. They get a lot better sparring, and that's why we find a lot of Brits going over to America. Andy Lee used to do it. Colin thingy what boxed Nigel Benn and that. Collins, he went
Steve Collins was a middleweight over there, wasn't
he? Yeah. Katie Taylor's over there. I just think it's a better foundation for boxing in America. And Britain's always come second best. It's only because boxing's terrible at minute, and we've got AJ and Tyson Fury to flag for Britain. At minute, other than that, I mean, America's got way better fighters than us.
Yeah, it's. I haven't seen any interviews after and all that. I'm just hoping that everybody's gracious in defeat, which I think they will be. I hope so, anyway. But there's fine margins at that level, isn't it? Really, but they've got to fight again.
Yeah.
They could fight 6 times, them two. You never know. Well, they're not going to fight anybody else, are they? Because then nobody would buy into another fight, would they, with them?
I don't know. The truth is, it was that kind of fight. Although I had losing so many rounds, she was in there. It was a competitive fight. You could watch that once a week for the next 5 weeks and still be entertained, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great fight, wasn't it? What did you think to the Beanisms from Bean? Oh, you can't shut up, can you, when he gets in front of that camera with that mic, Adam Smith, can he?
He loves it, don't he? Bless him.
Some of the things he was coming out with. Added spice, compelling. You know, I just think that I want to see somebody else behind that microphone now and not him. I don't think it's a lot to ask.
Sky's probably looking at it's been there that long now. This portrait furniture, why fix something not broken? But
it was broken years ago.
I know. We know that. Sky does. And I think when you've got a young, fresh Ben Shalom in there, with a new breed of fighters, they're going in a new direction, and that maybe it's time to mix it up a bit now behind scenes. Keep Johnny Nelson, because he's funny, Johnny Nelson. He can't get outraged. He has me in stitches.
Johnny.
Yeah. He's all right, isn't he? I love him,
Well, when Johnny comes on, I always look at it like, you know, when you used to watch Coronation Street, you'd have light-hearted entertainment ones, wouldn't you? Duckworth's, Battersby's, you know, and I look at when Johnny comes on Sky, a bit like Dave Allen when he comes on. Dave's out. Come on, I shouldn't say that because he lives near me, but that's his own fault for how his persona's perceived, isn't it? Dave's out, and it's all a bit of a laugh. And when Johnny comes on camera, you can be sat in somebody's house with a few cans of beer, and people will say, "Oh, Johnny's on here. Listen to this." It all turns into a bit of a laugh, doesn't it? And no, he's not took serious now, is he?
No, he's not. But it's like because he can't get no rate, bless him. But it's just entertainment value. It's how he says things, and sometimes he does drop his son in it. We other fighters, and then he has to try and backtrack, and then he has to do his stupid interviews talking Jamaican with IFL and that. I just think he's good. I think it gives that light-hearted spirit to it, like to show.
Yeah, well, you know what I do now? Whoever Johnny's going to go for, I try to go other way from having a bet. Oh, Scott Brunt's worst gambler ever in boxing, horses and that. He lumps on every show, and I mean lumps on and don't win. He has these crazy bets. I don't know if he just does it because he wants to be entertained. But just to see if it happens, because I don't really think he's bothered about the dough. Do you know what I mean? I think he just does it. But I always say, "Oh, you're betting on them." Well, I'm not going to go for that bet. I look at him and Johnny are betting. Sorry, Scott.
Yeah, I'm not a betting man like that. It's very, very rare I have a bet. But yeah, if Johnny Nelson tells you to go for blue corner, you bet on red, don't you?
Yeah. Haney, Cambosa. Haney won on points. He's not had a knockout in 3.5 years. What do you think's going on there? And he's saying he's pound for pound. He's got to fight Gervonta Davis now, hasn't
he? Yeah. I just caught a few seconds right before I come on air with you on the zone side, and Cambosa, or whatever you call him, it looked like he was just a punching bag, to be honest.
Eddie were
I
out
don't
there
know.
because he had Sky Nicholson money.
I think Eddie was out there to get away from England. And all
Well,
questions what people want to ask him.
yeah, well, Eddie's gone out there. He'll say it's to talk business, and they're on about putting Joshua on at the Gabba, aren't they? You know where England play Test cricket. It's
Yeah.
140,000, isn't it? That's what it holds that apparently. But Eddie's gone out there because Sky Nicholson's fighting now. Eddie and Sky Nicholson get on very well. That's what I've been hearing for a long time. So out of sight, out of mind, isn't it?
Mm.
What do you think to that one? Well, that'll come out soon, all being well. Uh, Eddie's in a bit of a mess at the moment, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I said it before, him leaving Sky, what biggest bollock dropped in boxing,
Yeah.
is left the best platform with best backing to follow pound signs, gone to the zone, is signing anybody who nobody knows, really. He's trying to put shows on every continent, which nobody's bothered about. It's like I'm a boxing fan, but I'm not just going to watch two Spanish guys I've never heard of at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like going to a pub and watching Doncaster Rovers against Accrington Stanley on telly. I'm not interested. If it were Rotherham or something like that, I'd watch it.
Hey, if you're digging Rovers out, you're going to visit.
I know, but no, I mean, it's tried doing too much. He's spread his head too thin, and he's told too many lies, and it's all coming back to bite him in the ass now.
You know, this investigation they're doing now, do you think he could be for high jump?
I think what I think is, I think if Conor Ben has took steroids, it's nothing to do with Eddie Hearn. But Eddie Hearn going to put the fight on knowingly, and with the difference in weights and all that, I think he might get called in front of the board and say, like, you knew about this fight. You know Eubanks never met weight since he was 18. You've only got a £3 rehydration clause in there. That is dangerous for a fight. I agree with Eubanks' dad. It were going to be a weight he's not been since you're 18, and then only put £3 on, and then expect to get in and fight.
That's like getting in as a light welter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just
and blowing up, and replenishing after going on scale.
Yeah, it's just too dangerous.
Yeah,
too dangerous, and especially if one of them's been on steroids. I mean, the steroid he got caught with one, you can take A to mask other steroids you're taking, or it's B to keep your testosterone in when you're finishing a cycle. So you've got a lad coming up in weight, what's going to be full of beans against the depleted lad. You're going to lawyers to try and get fight going ahead still. It's bad for boxing. It's nearly as bad as all this YouTube stuff we've got going on. So I think what he's done is gone out there to Australia to get out of the way for a bit while it just settles.
What do you think about Callum's role in all this?
Well, I mean, he's just as bad, really. I mean, end of the day, he's Eubanks' promoter. Now, he should have said, like, let's look at it realistically. You're going down to a weight you've not, what, it 157, I think you were going down to something like that.
Yeah.
You're going down to a weight you've never been since you were 18 with a £3 rehydration clause. That's not looking after a boxer you represent.
No, it isn't. But
that's just like, get in there, make some money, give me my cut. And I mean, they got the phone call about 3 weeks ago when it all come out. So they knew, and they were still willing to go ahead with it. Now, if I were a promoter, one of my lads were fighting and his opponent got done for steroids, I'd just say straight away, fight's cancelled. Let's reschedule it. Let's find out what's going off.
Yeah. You'd have thought Callum would have set about Team Ben and stuck up for his man instead of saying, "Yeah, it's not a serious tablet, it's not performance enhancing." And Christopher wants to fight and all that. As soon as I heard that, I thought, "Oh, they're going to cover this up. They want to get the money, don't they?" It were grubby,
Yeah,
it were out of order, and they looked like utter tossers.
they were just looking at pound signs for that fight, weren't they? We're going to make absolutely millions, and that's all they were looking at. I bet Callum and Eddie were laid in bed that night thinking, "Fuck me, I can't believe I've lost that much money."
Yeah,
That's exactly all it was.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's in bad form, isn't it? Do you want to just click onto the second link, kid?
Yeah, do we do that?
Just I'll turn this off now.